Tiana, welcome to my awesome guide on not being an idiot tourist in Sweden. Look, Sweden's a pretty chill place, yeah? But I've seen enough tourists mess things up, making us Swedes look like we're being swarmed by, I don't know, confused geese. So, whether you're here for the breathtaking landscapes, and trust me, they're insane, the delicious meatballs, not as good as my mom's, but we'll get there, or the elusive Swedish fish, spoiler, they're not actually from here. You gotta know how to act. Think of this as your crash course in not being that guy. You know, the one everyone avoids, like a plate of surströmming. We're going to cover the essential do's and don'ts, so listen up, smash that like button for the algorithm, and let's jump right in. Alright, first things first. Yeah, most Swedes speak English, like scarily good English. You'd think Shakespeare himself was resurrected and decided to hang out in Stockholm. But don't just assume everyone's fluent, it's just common courtesy, you know? Imagine rocking up to a random bakery in, like, Italy and just blasting them with Italian-sounding gibberish. Not cool, right? Same thing here. Before you unleash your inner Shakespeare, just ask Tala du engelska. It means, do you speak English? Simple, right? And hey, bonus points if you throw in a hedge hello or tack thank you. It's like giving a verbal high five. Swedes dig that. It shows you're making an effort, even if your pronunciation sounds like a dying walrus. Trust me, a little effort goes a long way. Okay, so you know how some people talk with their hands, like every other word is accompanied by a mini interpretive dance? Yeah, tone it down in Sweden. We're not saying you have to be a statue, but we're big on personal space and not accidentally elbowing each other in the face. Think of it like this, Swedes are like the cool, calm cats of Europe. We're all about that, understated, I'm not freaking out, even though I might be internally screaming vibe. So, unless you're trying to signal a rescue plane from the wilderness, in which case go wild, keep the hand gestures to a minimum. Okay, this one might throw some people off, especially if you're from a place where silence is like an awkward void that must be filled with chatter, but in Sweden, silence is golden. It's not awkward, it's not rude, it's just comfortable. Think of it like this, you're hanging out with your best friend, just chilling, enjoying each other's company. You don't need to constantly talk to fill the silence, right? You're just vibing. That's what it's like in Sweden. We're not ignoring you, we're not plotting your demise, we're just enjoying the peace and quiet. So, take a deep breath, relax, and embrace the silence. Chapter 4. Nobody likes a know-it-all, especially in Sweden. Alright, listen up because this one's important. Swedes are generally a well-educated bunch. We love our books, our documentaries, our long rambling conversations about the meaning of life. But we also value humility, big time. So even if you're a walking encyclopedia of Swedish history, geography and pop culture, resist the urge to show off. Nobody likes a know-it-all, especially not in Sweden. Instead of trying to impress everyone with your vast knowledge, ask questions, listen to the answers, and be open to learning new things. Trust me, you'll make a much better impression by being genuinely interested than by trying to be the smartest person in the room. Remember, nobody's perfect, and even we Swedes get things wrong sometimes, but don't tell anyone I said that. Chapter 5. Don't mess with the Vasa ship. Seriously. Alright, let's talk about the Vasa ship. This isn't just some old boat, okay? This is a national treasure. It's like the Swedish equivalent of the Mona Lisa, the Eiffel Tower, and the Great Pyramids all rolled into one. So when you visit the Vasa Museum, and you absolutely should, treat it with respect. Don't climb on it, don't carve your initials into it, and for the love of all that is holy, don't try to steal a piece of it as a souvenir. Just stand back, admire its craftsmanship, and maybe shed a tear for its short-lived maiden voyage. It's a masterpiece of engineering, even if it did sink on its first outing. Chapter 6. Backup personal space is king and queen. Okay, imagine this. You're waiting in line for something, coffee, meatballs, whatever, and suddenly someone's practically breathing down your neck, their backpack brushing against your leg. Not cool, right? Yeah, that's a big no-no in Sweden. We like our personal space. Like, really like it. Think of it as an invisible bubble surrounding each and every one of us. It's our happy place, our little slice of peace and quiet in a crowded world. So when in doubt, just take a step back, give people room to breathe. And whatever you do, don't be that person who crowds the baggage carousel at the airport. Seriously, it's like a mosh pit of suitcases and anxiety. Just chill, your luggage will arrive eventually. All right, let's talk coffee. Swedes love coffee, like really, really love it. We drink it morning, noon and night. It's our fuel, our muse, our liquid hug in a mug. So when you're in Sweden, you've got to embrace the coffee culture. But here's the catch: decaf doesn't count. Seriously, don't even bother. It's an insult to our caffeine-loving souls. Order a cafe, coffee, and enjoy the rich, strong, life-giving nectar that is Swedish coffee. And don't worry if you're not a fan of black coffee, we've got you covered. We've got lattes, cappuccinos, macchiatos, you name it, we've probably got it. Just remember, when in Sweden, drink coffee like the Swedes do. Strong, black, and often. Okay, so maybe Swedish beer doesn't have the same reputation as, say, Belgian beer or German beer, but trust me on this one. Swedish beer is good, like really good. We've got everything from crisp, refreshing lagers to rich, hoppy IPAs, and don't even get me started on our craft beer scene. It's exploding right now. So when you're in Sweden, do yourself a favor and order a local brew. You won't be disappointed, and whatever you do, don't compare it to Budweiser or Heineken. Those are fighting words in these parts. Just sit back, take a sip, and let the flavors speak for themselves. You might just be surprised at how much you like it. All right, this one's a bit of a sensitive topic, so listen up. Sweden and Finland have a bit of rivalry. It's mostly friendly, but when it comes to hockey, things can get heated, like really heated. So unless you want to witness a grown man or woman break down in tears, it's best to avoid mentioning the Finnish ice hockey team. Just pretend they don't exist. Trust me, your sanity will thank you for it. Instead, talk about something else, like, I don't know, the weather. The weather's always a safe bet in Sweden. It's either raining, snowing, or about to do one of those things. All right, let's talk about style for a second. Swedes are generally a pretty low-key bunch. We're all about that understated, effortless cool. Think jeans, t-shirts, maybe a nice sweater if it's cold. So unless you're attending a royal wedding or something, leave the bling at home. Nobody's impressed by your Rolex or your diamond-encrusted phone case. In fact, you're more likely to get side-eye than compliments. Just be yourself, be comfortable, and remember, less is more. Except when it comes to coffee. You can never have too much coffee in Sweden. All right, this one should go without saying, but apparently it needs to be said, don't litter. Seriously, it's 2023. We should all know better by now. Sweden is a beautiful country, and we like to keep it that way. So if you're walking down the street and you have some trash, hold on to it until you find a trash can. They're everywhere, I promise. And if you're at a park or a beach, don't just leave your trash lying around. Pick it up and throw it away. It's not that hard, people. Let's all do our part to keep Sweden clean. All right, let's talk about water for a second. Specifically bottled water, don't buy it. Seriously, it's a waste of money. Tap water in Sweden is perfectly safe to drink. In fact, it's some of the cleanest, tastiest water you'll ever have. So do yourself and the environment a favor and bring a reusable water bottle with you. You can fill it up at any fountain or sink and you'll save a ton of money in the process. Plus, you'll be doing your part to reduce plastic waste. Everybody wins. All right, let's talk about alcohol, specifically where to buy it. See, in Sweden, you can't just walk into any old supermarket and buy a bottle of vodka. Oh no, my friend, it's not that simple. For anything stronger than 3.5% alcohol, you have to go to a special store called Systembolaget. And here's the kicker, they have very specific opening hours. So if you're planning on having a few drinks, make sure you plan your liquor runs accordingly. Otherwise, you might find yourself sober and sad. And nobody wants that. Trust me, I've been there. It's not pretty. All right, let's talk about something fun for a change. Island hopping. Sweden has over 220,000 islands. That's right, you heard me correctly. And while you don't have to visit them all, although that would be pretty epic, you should definitely check out a few. Whether you're looking for stunning scenery, charming fishing villages, or just a chance to escape the hustle and bustle of city life, there's an island out there for you. Trust me, it's the perfect way to experience the beauty and tranquility of Sweden. All right, last but not least, let's talk about queuing. Swedes love to queue. It's in our DNA. We queue for everything: buses, trains, coffee, meatballs, you name it, and we take our queuing very seriously. So whatever you do, don't cut the line. Seriously, don't even think about it. It's the quickest way to earn yourself a dirty look or a stern talking to. Just be patient, wait your turn, and nobody gets hurt. It's as simple as that. That's it. You've reached the end of my Swedish survival guide. Congratulations. You're now one step closer to not being that tourist. Remember, Sweden is an awesome place, full of friendly people, stunning scenery, and delicious food. Seriously, try the meatballs. So go forth, explore, have fun, and most importantly, be respectful. Treat Sweden like you'd treat your own home, unless your home is a mess, in which case maybe treat Sweden a little better. And hey, if you see me around, come say hi. Just don't be weird about it. We're all friends here. Skål.